most magnificent part of the world is called the Snowy River. Doing some kayaking, some rafting, and today I'm joined by Will Ingram. Now Will, you're an East Gippsland boy, born and bred, mate.
Yep, far East Gippsland.
You love your bass fishing?
I've grown up doing it, mate, and the adrenaline rush that you get from it is just amazing.
Now, there's some really good bass in some close to town areas, but today we're going remote. We're going miles and miles upriver, we're camping. Why are we doing that?
Because the fishing pressure is a little bit less, and it's just really enjoyable.
I think that's what it's all about, it's the adventure, isn't it? I always say fishing is not just about catching the fish, it's about places and places, about meeting new people.
That's it.
And when you come to places like this, like we're not going to bump into anything unless it's wild. How far to the spot, you reckon?
We've got about 10 k's to our next campsite.
Yep.
To get there, we've got a couple of big whitewater drops, which we will have to portage, which is basically just getting out, taking all the kayaks down through so we don't fall out.
Just walking it through.
Just walking it through.
I like the idea of safety comes first.
Safety definitely comes first, mate.
What we're doing here is called portage. It's a tough job, but basically the river level is so low that these massive boulders sticking out, and our rafts and kayaks just can't make it over. So we've literally got to manhandle every piece of equipment we have over these rocks and these rapids. The rocks are slippery, it's starting to rain a little bit, it's tough work, but our ultimate goal is to get to our fishing destination tonight. As you do the hard yards, you get the rewards. I've got to say, teamwork, having a good time, this is a lot of fun. We've travelled 50 metres since our last portage, and we've just hit another massive snag. We've got to go through that whole process again. It's going to be a long day. Up until this morning, I had never heard the word portage. Now I know it means carrying everything you physically own over some of the roughest terrain in the country. Why do we do some portaging?
To get to these beautiful fishing holes, mate.
Now this bass water here, I'm told, is some of the best bass water in the Snowy. Is that true?
This is probably one of the best holes on the Snowy, yeah.
Well, I'm excited to fish it. The only way to get here is to do what we did today, and that is literally getting over all those rocks, rapids, whatever, unless you own a helicopter, and that we don't. Mate, we carried bags over and over and over. How slippery are those rocks?
Oh, mate, if you don't have sure footing, you can go over real easy.
I might have done that just a few times, but my shin has the scars to bear it. Those kayaks, can you explain, why didn't we just take the kayaks through the rapids? Why did we carry them over all those rocks and through those obstacles?
Well, if you make the wrong turn and hit a rock at the wrong angle, the water will just hit you and you'll flip straight over. And I tell you what, mate, you really don't want to be in the middle of those rapids with a couple of ton of water coming down on you.
So they're all saying a stitch in time saves 9. That is why you literally take the gear through very slowly, because it can get very ugly very quickly. Lose all your gear.
We nearly lost the blue raft today. That was pretty hairy, but we got through all right.
She got up there, didn't she? But you know what? We're finally here. It's mid to late afternoon. That's when the bass bite best, and we're going to go and smack them.
Let's get into it.
Sold. That could be scary, but you know what? We must move forward with it.
Let's do it.
We must give it a go. So how long have you been fishing this river?
20 years, mate.
And in 20 years, have you ever seen anyone catch bass on a fly rod?
Oh, no, I haven't.
Do you think tonight could be the first night?
Yeah, I reckon we can definitely find some.
So the big question, you're gonna put me on fish and make me look good?
I know exactly where they are, mate. Let's go get them.
Sounds like a plan. You find them, I'll try and scare them. I just want to take a second to show you this fly I'm using today. It's a Delberg diver, and the whole concept is when you tweak it and give it a good pull, it actually dives below the surface, makes a big bloop, and then pops back up. It's got this beautiful long furry tail, and that just wanders along like this, enticing the fish. The beautiful thing about fishing a fly for natives, you can hold it in the zone for a longer time, so the fish has got more chance to come up and eat it. Give it that quick bloop, let it sit. Bloop, let it sit. So the whole concept is, it's like an arrow. When you cast, it pushes forward. And people say, why do you fly fish? Well, the reason you fly fish is you use the rod, reel and line to get an object that weighs very little into the strike zone. That's what it's all about. Get it out there. The more time the fly spends in the water, the more fish you're going to catch.
Got him. Oh, you're gonna have to pull him, mate.
I'm pulling. Oh, I'm stripping as hard as I can. How's the take?
He's coming out of this.
I'm giving him nothing. I'm still on the strip. I'll try and pick up some line. Just get all this slack line. How's that take, mate?
Oh, great.
Oh, it's a solid fish. He had to have it.
Decent.
Solid fish. Get away from those rocks. You're right. I'll just hold it, fly it up. The beauty of the fly rod.
That is a beautiful fish, mate.
That is a big fish, and what a cracker on fly. Mate, when you get a plan and it comes together, that is just so good. And look where I've hooked him. I hooked him outside the mouth because he's just come up and scoffed it. And the effort, I don't think I've ever put as much effort into one single fish in all my life, mate. That.
If you put the effort in, mate, you get rewarded.
Look at that afternoon light. And just quietly, I'm a little bit excited. That fish is one of the fish that would have been stocked in here, what, 7 or 8 years ago?
Yep.
So he's grown from a fingerling to this in 7 or 8 years. He's got a massive gob, and he is an eating machine. When we put that fly in the right area, we just kept blooping. I probably had about 20 or 30 casts, and that is so rewarding. I mean, all those waterfalls today, this new word I learned called portage. Well, every bag I picked up, every kayak I moved, was all about this one fish. That is so awesome. Thank you very much, my friend.
Thank you very much. You've shown me that it can be done.
Never a truer word said. I'm one very happy camper. The fly's out. That fish is ready for release. Thank you for making me such a happy boy. Look at you, same colour as the environment. You're just going to go down, like he's going to think about it, then go straight down.
Now, Paul, there's many more out there, so let's go get them.
Well, things are quiet, we've got to keep trying different things. I've never swum this lure before. It's a Storm Arashi weight crank. When you cast it, it makes the biggest wake and it just goes. It's got to fire these fish up. Yep. And that
What a take.
That was a cast almost all the way across the river. Did you see where I cast it?
Yeah, just out in the middle of nowhere. You just never expect that.
It actually landed right in front of that, see that rock, that single rock?
Yep.
And I reckon about 5 winds and bang. And these fish just don't seem to be turned on, do they? We're gonna have to turn them on. Look at that.
Absolutely nailed it.
Fly lure. I don't think it matters, mate. It's all good fun, isn't it?
Great fun.
And that little lure, ever seen a lure like that before?
No, I haven't. I had a look at that lure and I was like, nah, mate.
That's no good.
That's no good. What is that?
If I was to name that lure, I'd call it Fat Albert. That's not its name, it's actually a Storm Arashi. Hang on, I've got the artificial lip grip, the hand. And look at that. What an incredible fish. I love these bass. This is probably one of the smaller fish I've seen out of the Snowy, but he's still so plump and fat. And that little lure there, how cool. It just goes along the top going boof, 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 and it's got a rattle as well. And this is the perfect time. You can see it's dead still. These fish will be moving around, smooching, looking for food now. And I reckon fly, lure, doesn't matter. Any bass you catch is an absolute gem. This is probably a stocked fish again. Some of these fish can lay up to 950,000 eggs. And it's so good, the work the CMA, Fisheries Victoria, Craig Ingram have done to bring bass back to the Snowy and make sure it flows for many years to come. Off you go, bassy boy. Well, probably a girl, but Doesn't really matter much, does it? That was wrong. That was about a 35-metre cast right on the edge. This fish is coming towards me. It's either very large or very smallish. Oh. He's pulling the rod.
Seen the boat and just said, "No, I'm out of here."
Not happy at all, Jan. And speaking of not happy, Jan, my poor Cameron Rick is struggling. It is dark. He can't see much at all, but we're still catching fish. Come on, mate. Grab him on the jaw. Nice little comfort lift. Always support fish's bellies with that hand. And that, again, that's a bit of a smaller fish, but big, fat, plump. And even though this guy's only small, look at the size that lure he took there. Absolute beast. And guess what? I've just discovered it looks just like a baby bass. So obviously, these guys are cannibalistic as well. Well, these bass, you really got to watch out for all these spikes on the dorsal fins there. Those gill rakers, nasty. Just place them in the water, let them get their breath back, even if you're going to hold their tail till he goes, and away he goes.
Look at that, spectacular.
Well, after a pretty hot session last night, we woke to hear bass buffing once again. Couldn't help ourselves, quick cup of coffee, and we're back at it. I reckon we've got about 2 hours of pretty good fishing till the sun gets right up, and I think we're going to smash them. Let's go, Wilmont.
Let's get him.
Oh, yep, that's it. Yep, got him. Straight away. Now, that was right on that snag, Will.
Yeah, mate.
I always say that one good cast is worth 1,000 bad ones, and that just happened to be a good cast. And as soon as it went in there, it got smashed. And I don't think I'm going to fish in there, just quietly.
See if I can get another one, mate.
Yeah, see if you can get the daily double.
Look at that. Absolute beautiful fish.
Oh, yeah, and so clear. Has this river always been this clear?
Not always, mate. Like, you do get those flushes of water that sort of stirs it up a bit.
Yep.
But, and I haven't seen it this clear in a very long time.
There's been a lot of effort to get the Snowy River back to pristine condition, and don't quote me because I'm no expert on environment, but they've spent thousands and thousands of hours getting the willows out of the system, because in the old days, they thought putting willows in the system would stop the erosion. But unfortunately, the willows did a lot of bad things for the rivers. They've actually gone through, they've poisoned the willows, they've taken them all out, and they're now putting this river back to nature in the way it was intended. And since they've done that, the water clarity apparently has just been out of control. So you might come here and think, oh, look, pretty good place, but what you won't see is the countless hours of work that people put in to make it what it is today. And the more people that come and enjoy places like this, the bigger the chance it will have them forever, because the people who come and enjoy them are very passionate about them. Look at this big fat bass. It is called a football. It literally sits in my hand like a Sharon. The guts is huge, short and stumpy, and he has smashed that little Rapala. It's a crawdad, yabby pattern, and that's not bad. I think that's my second cast for the day. I'm very, very impressed. That sleeping bag, it was warm and toasty, but I'm feeling pretty good now. Listen, mate, if you want to live a long and healthy life, I suggest a few less frogs and a few more laps of the pool. You're one fat little fish. Oh, yep, got it. What are you doing, mate? You can't catch fish.
I've just put five casts in there before. Oh my God.
But the worst thing is I'm still asleep. You want to see when I wake up? This is just sweet. Now,
You're doing well, mate. You're doing well. I love your work.
Thank you very much. It is just so cool. And look at the bugs. Look at all this life.
Yeah, it's all just sitting.
You can actually feel it happening, can't you? You can feel these fish are on the go. And it's such a great feeling as an angler when we say the glass is up. And what it basically means is I think the barometer might be rising. And because the barometer's rising, these fish are on the chew. This is a solid fish too. These fish are on the chew. They're active. And literally, I think that hit the water. And because it's a deep diving Rapala, got down. As soon as it went down about 3 feet, he just come through and smacked it. Again, incredible Australian bass. Please come and catch these fish. Even if you can't come to the Snowy, find somewhere in Victoria, New South Wales, even Queensland, the dams are full of them. If you haven't caught Australian bass, you're missing out.